Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into the world of plant nurseries.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
not just like the pretty flowers and the lush greenery.
Right.
We're going kind of behind the scenes to look at something that you might not have thought about before, and that's plant quarantine.
Interesting.
Our source for this deep dive is a blog post from kianmeng.org, and it's written by Ang.
Okay.
And Ang really dives deep into their gardening experiences.
So what's really fascinating about this is that, we often focus on the beauty of plants, right? We don't often think about the risks that they might carry.
Yeah.
And Ang's blog post, specifically part 450 of their Notes on Gardening series, it really highlights a surprising observation about plant nurseries.
Yeah, this is something that I admit I hadn't thought much about before.
Really?
Ang was surprised to find that not all nurseries have quarantine areas for new plants that they bring in, or for damaged plants, or plants that are showing signs of pests or diseases. And they actually found only one nursery that had a designated quarantine zone.
Interesting.
Where they were separating things like off-season annuals, damaged plants, and those with visible pests.
So this is where, the idea of biosecurity comes in. It's really about how you manage the risks that are associated with, biological organisms.
Yeah.
And in this case, plant pests and diseases.
Right.
And so without, having a quarantine process in place, nurseries are really running the risk of spreading these problems to their whole stock.
Yeah.
And then potentially, spreading it even further into our gardens and even the environment.
It's like a silent invasion, right?
It is.
You bring home this beautiful plant,
and
you're totally unaware of what might be hitching a ride.
Exactly.
And Ang makes a really interesting point about what happens with a lot of the damaged plants.
Okay.
A lot of times they get sent straight to the bargain section.
Oh, yeah.
Which seems smart, commercially. But from a biosecurity standpoint, it's a little risky.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about something like powdery mildew. It is a fungal disease.
Right.
It spreads through spores, and they can be carried by the wind. They can even be, on our clothing.
Wow.
So if a plant with powdery mildew ends up in the bargain bin, those spores can easily contaminate other plants.
Oh, wow.
And it just creates this domino effect.
Okay, now I'm getting a little paranoid.
Right.
What are some of the most common pests or diseases that we should be looking out for?
Well, it really depends on the type of plant and your region. But some of the common ones, you've got aphids, spider mites, mealybugs. These are all insects that can suck the sap right out of plants.
Oh, wow.
And that weakens the plant and makes them much more susceptible to diseases.
So they're already weakened.
Exactly.
And then on top of that,
then you have fungal diseases like root rot,
which
can be really devastating.
Yeah.
And then you've got viral diseases, which can be harder to even detect.
And harder to control, I imagine.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
So how can we as plant enthusiasts be more proactive about this?
That's a great question.
It sounds like step one is just being aware.
Yeah, awareness is key.
Okay.
Knowing what the common pests and diseases are, and learning to identify the early signs.
Got it.
But also you want to really inspect plants carefully before you buy them.
Even the ones in the bargain bin?
Especially the ones in the bargain bin.
Okay.
Tempting as they may be.
So this is where the idea of home quarantine comes in, right?
Exactly.
Remember Ang mentioned that in the blog post. And it's basically just like giving new plants a little time out before you introduce them to your plant family.
It's like a precautionary measure to minimize the risk. It could be as simple as just isolating new plants in a separate room. Or a designated area of your garden for a week or two.
And that gives you time to just kind of observe them.
Exactly. You can monitor them for any signs of pests or diseases.
Before they come into contact with everything else.
Right.
So I'm starting to realize that, plant quarantine isn't just about protecting my own little garden.
Right.
It's about, being part of this bigger effort.
It is.
This biosecurity effort.
Exactly.
It's about preventing the spread of these potentially invasive species.
Yeah.
And really trying to safeguard the health of the entire ecosystem.
Exactly.
And that brings us to a bigger question.
Okay.
What can nurseries do to improve their quarantine practices?
Yeah.
And to really ensure the health of their plants?
That's a big one.
I mean, a dedicated quarantine area seems ideal.
Yeah.
But is that realistic for every nursery?
That's a good point.
Especially, smaller operations.
Right.
Maybe with limited space or resources.
Yeah. You've got to think about that.
And it makes me wonder, are there more creative solutions out there? Are there, innovative approaches that could benefit both the nurseries and the consumers?
Maybe we can look at other industries.
Oh, yeah.
That have, successfully implemented these kinds of biosecurity measures. Right.
And see if there are things we can learn from them.
What are some industries that come to mind when you think about strict biosecurity protocols?
Well,
and what lessons could they offer to the plant world?
That's a great question, and I think we should definitely explore that further.
When I think about biosecurity, I think about, like, customs checks at airports. Or, quarantine procedures for animals.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about how those same principles apply to plants.
Absolutely. And if we look at industries like agriculture or even healthcare, I think we can find some really interesting parallels and some potential solutions there.
In agriculture, for example, there's this concept called integrated pest management,
right?
IPM, and it's all about using a combination of methods to control pests.
Right.
And the idea is to minimize the use of pesticides and to promote a more balanced ecosystem.
Exactly.
Could something like that be applied to plant nurseries, do you think? I think it's an intriguing idea, for sure. I mean, imagine nurseries incorporating things like beneficial insects.
Oh, that's interesting.
Natural predators that could help keep pest populations in check. They could also implement, stricter hygiene protocols. Similar to what they do in hospitals.
Right.
To prevent the spread of diseases.
And I wonder if technology could play a role here, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Could there be ways to use, like, sensors or imaging techniques to detect early signs of pests or diseases?
Yeah.
Even before they're visible to the naked eye.
I mean, think about the advancements in AI and machine learning.
Right.
It's not hard to imagine systems that can analyze plant images and identify potential problems in real time.
Wow.
Which would allow nurseries to intervene much quicker.
Yeah.
And really prevent these outbreaks.
It's really exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is.
And I think, these kinds of innovations could be beneficial for everyone. I mean, imagine being able to scan a plant with your phone.
Right.
And get information about its health.
Exactly.
Before you even buy it.
It's like a vision of the future where we're all more informed and empowered to make, responsible choices.
Exactly.
And ultimately, that's what biosecurity is all about, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's about being proactive, taking steps to protect ourselves and the environment.
And the things we care about.
Exactly.
Speaking of responsible choices, I'm curious, what are some things that listeners can do at home to practice good plant hygiene? And to, minimize the risk of spreading pests or diseases?
Well, there are a few simple but effective practices that can make a big difference. Cleaning your gardening tools regularly is a big one.
Got it.
Especially after you've been working with, potentially infected plants.
Okay.
It's like washing your hands before and after handling food.
Right. Basic but important.
Exactly.
And just like we use different cutting boards for raw meat and vegetables, we can use different tools for different types of plants.
Right.
Especially those that are prone to certain diseases.
Exactly.
Those are really practical tips.
Yeah.
Any others come to mind?
Yeah, being mindful of how you dispose of plant material.
Okay.
A lot of people think, oh, I'll just toss this in the compost pile.
Right.
But if it's disease, that can actually spread the problem.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's best to bag and dispose of those separately.
Okay.
Or even burn them if that's allowed in your area.
It all comes back to that ripple effect we were talking about.
Yeah.
A seemingly small action.
Yeah.
Like how you get rid of a plant can have much bigger consequences.
Exactly.
For your garden and even, the environment.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to approach plant care with a sense of responsibility. Your choices have an impact beyond your own backyard.
This conversation has really shifted my perspective on plant nurseries.
Really?
I used to think of them as just, places to buy plants.
Yeah.
But now I see them as playing a much bigger role.
Yeah.
In this whole biosecurity effort.
They're like guardians of plant health.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, are there any organizations or resources that listeners can turn to if they want more information on plant biosecurity?
Sure.
Or maybe even to report potential outbreaks?
Yeah, your local agricultural extension office is a great place to start.
That's a good idea.
They can provide information on, common pests and diseases and best practices for prevention.
Right.
And there are also, online databases and forums where plant enthusiasts can connect and share information.
It's like a collective intelligence network.
It is.
Helping each other, identify and address potential threats.
Exactly. And that sharing of knowledge is so crucial because early detection is key.
So it's like a community watch program for the plant world.
Exactly.
Are there any examples of communities or regions that are doing a particularly good job at this?
Oh, yeah. There are definitely some inspiring examples out there.
Okay.
For instance, some regions have really strict import regulations for plants to prevent the introduction of invasive species. And others have developed, these robust monitoring programs to track and manage existing threats.
And what about on a smaller scale?
Okay.
Are there any individual nurseries or gardens that are setting a good example?
Absolutely. And I think it's important to recognize and celebrate those efforts. Maybe Aang could even reach out to that nursery they mentioned.
The one with the quarantine area?
Yeah, and learn more about their practices.
That's a great idea.
It could be a valuable addition to their blog and a source of inspiration for others.
It's all about sharing best practices.
It is.
And empowering each other to be, responsible plant stewards.
Exactly.
It's easy to get caught up in all the risks and the challenges.
Right.
But I do think there's a sense of optimism here, too. We're becoming more aware of the issues. We're developing new technologies and strategies. And we're building these communities of, informed and engaged plant enthusiasts.
And that's what gives me hope.
Right.
It's knowing that we're not powerless.
Yeah.
We have the tools and the resources and the collective will to make a difference.
To create a healthier and more sustainable future for ourselves and for the plant world.
Exactly.
Well said.
Thank you.
This deep dive has really been an eye-opener for me.
I'm glad.
I have a whole new appreciation for the complexities of plant health and the importance of biosecurity.
Yeah.
And I feel inspired to be, a more informed and responsible plant parent.
That's great to hear. And I think that's a key takeaway for all of us. Yeah. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, we can all play a role in protecting the health of our plants and the ecosystems they inhabit.
And this brings us to our final thought for this deep dive. We've talked about, quarantine procedures at nurseries.
Right.
And even home quarantine for new plants. But what about the plants we already have in our gardens? How can we be more proactive in monitoring their health and preventing the spread of, potential problems?
That's an excellent question and one that deserves further exploration.
It's like we have to be plant detectives.
Yes.
Always on the lookout for clues.
Right.
But where do we even begin?
Well, regular inspection is really the key.
Okay.
Make it a habit to spend a little time each week, really examining your plants.
Not just admiring them.
Not just admiring them, right?
Right, but really looking for any changes.
Exactly.
Okay, so what kind of changes should we be looking for? You mentioned discoloration or wilting, but are there other signs that might point to a pest or a disease?
Yeah, definitely. So keep an eye out for things like unusual spots or patterns on the leaves or maybe some sticky residue or webbing. Okay.
Those could be signs of insect activity.
So bugs.
Bugs, exactly. And don't forget to check the undersides of the leaves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where a lot of pests like to hide.
It's like a whole hidden world under there.
It is.
And what about the soil? Should we be checking that too?
Yes, definitely look for any signs of fungal growth.
Okay.
Or unusual odors, or changes in the texture.
Okay.
Those could all be signs of root problems.
It's amazing how much we can learn just by paying attention.
It is.
But let's say we do find something that looks a little suspicious. What's the next step?
Well, then you need to identify it.
Right, figure out what it is.
Exactly, and there are lots of resources to help with that.
Okay.
You've got online databases, field guides. You can even contact your local agricultural extension office.
And I imagine the sooner we catch it, the better, right?
Absolutely. Early detection is key.
So it's really helpful to understand, a little bit about plant life cycles. Yeah. And pest behavior. Right. So like how they spread, what conditions they like.
Right, what their weaknesses are.
It's like we have to be plant strategists.
Exactly.
And once we've identified the problem, then we can start researching, control methods.
Right, and there are lots of options.
Like what are some examples?
Well, you've got organic solutions like insecticidal soap. Or neem oil. And then you have more, targeted chemical treatments.
Yeah. And I imagine choosing the right treatment depends on the specific pest or disease and how bad the infestation is.
Exactly. And it's important to weigh the risks and benefits of each approach.
Right.
And choose the one that's, the most effective and the most environmentally responsible.
This deep dive has really shown me how important it is to be proactive when it comes to plant health. It's not just about reacting to problems.
Right.
It's about creating an environment that's not as welcoming to pests and diseases in the first place. Exactly. It's about building a healthy ecosystem.
Right. In our gardens.
Yeah.
That's more resilient and less likely to have, these outbreaks.
And that involves a lot of things.
Like what?
Choosing the right plants for your climate.
Okay.
Your soil type. Making sure they get the proper nutrition and care.
It's about creating a plant sanctuary.
I like that.
Where our plants can thrive and we can enjoy them without constantly worrying about pests and diseases.
I love that vision.
Well, this deep dive has given me so much to think about.
Good.
I'm definitely feeling more inspired to take a more proactive approach.
That's great.
To be more observant and to be more informed.
Excellent.
About, the potential threats and how to deal with them.
You got it.
So I think that's a great takeaway for all of us.
I agree.
Whether we have a big garden or just a few plants on our windowsill, we can all be stewards of plant health.
Absolutely.
And contribute to a healthier, more vibrant world.
I love it.
And on that note,
I
think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of plant quarantine and biosecurity.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has.
And remember, knowledge is power.
Yes, it is.
The more we understand about our plants and the ecosystems they live in, the better we can protect them and ensure their well-being for years to come.
Until next time, happy gardening.